And if you look at around the people, the political players, they are people on picnic. They're not really serious people. All the names in the political establishment.
Like the one from Mukisa Kutu, can he even get his name back?
What was Maraga and these people? They are saying there were some shadowy figures manipulating the figures, manipulating the processes.
I can't argue with you on that one,
Yeah.
but I'm Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Understanding Politics. My name is Jadiel Kabiro here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, how's your week so far?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh.
Yeah, wonderful. I travel a bit, the village.
Last week's video you were in Kisumu.
Yes, I
on
was.
Saturday.
Yeah, from Kisumu, yeah.
That's nice. Our subscribers are still increasing. Currently we're at 44.6 thousand subscribers, almost getting to 50,000.
Please let them subscribe. We need to hold this conversation together.
By next week, let's get to 50,000. We'll be introducing something. We'll let you know about it.
Yes.
And so many people are actually asking about the company for campaigns.
Yes, Hillman Analytica. Yes.
What more can you tell them about it?
Hillman Analytica is a newly formed company. We thought we have experience. We have some little training here and there. We have people we can work with to help you if you want to go into an election. You know, elections like war are now scientific. If you go into an election just boo, because you've been going to give money in Arambes, you've been moving around churches, organizing football tournaments, you lose it. It's about numbers. How do you crack the numbers?
And I want to talk about that on the talk because so many people are trying to get into elections.
Yes.
They are relying on their popularity in the village.
You must translate popularity into votes, and that's how we help you.
Okay, when we come back, we take a look at some of the things you said about last week's analysis. Ruto will resign. That is, Professor, for you. That's when we come back. Last week, Professor made this video saying why Ruto is resigning. Professor, this is what Stephen Kosira said. Professor, on this one, I doubt whether William Ruto will retreat or quit from the 2022 race. The man is overconfident and chest thumping. The rant we saw the other day on Twitter tells everything about a very bitter man, but it's good to remind him that the hustler narrative is a bubble that can blow up by a toothpick. When Kenyans get into a voting booth, they forget everything and remember their tribe's hustler narrative is hot air. Is this it?
He has
Ruto is chest thumping, as he's saying.
Yes.
But the fact that he's doing that doesn't mean that he'll resign.
His hopes, his entire campaign is based on the belief, which should be an assumption. To him is a belief that he will carry Mount Kenya. And I'm telling him, Mount Kenya is not there. It's already gone. If you are waiting for the last, but it's already gone. And without Mount Kenya, there is no Ruto. He can't even be number 2 in the elections.
You've said that severally. Uncle Smooth is saying any investment you must build a portfolio with different communities, just like stocks. He put all his eggs in one basket.
Yes.
Is that now what you're saying?
Mount Kenya. Without Mount Kenya.
Simon Murithi, Ruto knows his superpower is the Kikuyu, but someone he jumped over has the briefcase with the code. The war is lost. Should people even have a conversation though on Mount Kenya and Ruto? Is this something that people
I don't think it's good because this is our country.
Yeah.
But the truth, which is not very good for Ruto, is that it is a very unreliable constituent. I don't think that constituency is there for him. It's gone. And you see, like this guy is saying, I don't know who that is. He's saying you are relying on Mount Kenya, yet it is slippery. And as I look at things now, it is gone. This strategy of Ruto was good. He should have spread it across the country. Instead, he is hanging it on Mount Kenya. And Mount Kenya is collapsing, meaning his campaign is collapsing. And sooner than later, people will come and tell him, Manyora, you saw these things.
Robert Wambugu, Professor, expect the Dr. Manyora unexpected in quotes. Do you think Dr. Ruto really knows what is to withdraw? Just look at his background life and tell us when he ever gave up. He's great when the journey gets tough. He's a man of destiny. And this was my reasoning when you did the video. I was thinking, he is a man that has come from far.
Yes.
Will it even work for him to resign? Can he even try to do that? Why the resign?
You know, people who think I hate Ruto quickly jump to think I'm talking that because I don't like Ruto. But Ruto gets what I'm saying. Exactly what you are saying. Ruto has come from far. He could not have come this far if he was not a tough politician, if he's not intelligent.
Sisi tutakuwa na chama ya kitaifa ambayo Wakenya wote watatoshea. Yenye mnanielewa jameni? Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Na kwa hivyo tunasema, kwa sababu wamekwama na hiyo chama yote, sasa tunasikia wanataka kuunganisha ati ODM na Jubilee. Sasa nyinyi niwaulize jameni, historia ya Kenya hii sijui itafanywa namna gani?
Ruto is all those things, and I've said before. And I'm saying, because of being intelligent and realistic, he will know one thing which I've said, that once Mount Kenya is gone, he stands no chance. The second thing he will know is, without Mount Kenya, he not only stands no chance, but he's exposing himself to being vanquished.
And that is what...
If he goes to the rest, he will not only lose, he will be finished in a way he will never come back again. And that's why soldiers, I said, from a friend of mine, I keep a very good friend of mine, told me, soldiers, generals don't retreat, you withdraw. The idea of withdrawing, that you maintain your troops and you can come back with a better strategy and win the battle. If he wants to fight a successful battle where he stands a chance like 27 or 32, he will need to think hard about going into 2022 race, which is already lost. And knowing how much these people also hate him. Once he loses, they will never forgive him for giving them a hard time. The calculations between Uhuru and Raila was that once they come together, it's game short. Ruto made it so difficult for them. They thought, even me, I thought with Uhuru and Raila ganging up, there will be nothing like Ruto. But he has persisted. He has given them headache. They will not forgive. They will therefore finish him politically completely.
And that's actually how you ended the video. 2022 will be a game changer.
Correct. They will finish him.
We'll talk about that. John Kanavu, he gave several reasons.
Yes.
Listen to this. I want you to tell me whether some are true or some are false. He said, one, it is not normal or regular. It is not a normal or a regular occurrence that anyone disrespected their boss, be it in politics, business, corporations, even in family settings, and eventually succeed them, particularly in politics, not unless one had troops and the power of guns. He's giving reasons why Ruto will not win the presidency come 22. Is this true or false?
It is true. Normal, it is true. You see, order. Anytime you stop the status quo and the order, which is what you do if you are the deputy and you want to destabilize your boss, people don't even look for the reason. They see the act only. People even now fear you. The system itself fears you. The order of things. That if you can have what it takes to do that to your boss, what will you do to the entire system? So people who bring people down rarely benefit from that. The best example is Helston in the UK. He brought down Margaret Thatcher. He didn't get it. John Major was given. People fear people who disturb the order. When you disturb the order, everybody around is worried about you. You get it? Yeah.
The second reason, the political marriage that is Uhuru-Ruto was not designed to last for long, as it was unity of convenience. If you ask me, Ruto's political graveyard was dug when a clever scheme was hatched to dissolve the various parties into Jubilee. This is still John Kanavu. Reasons why Ruto will not...
That is true. Dissolving URP to him was, he was going to get Jubilee. He didn't think about how political parties behave in this country. They are put up together, special coalitions. There was NAC. There was PNU. Once they deliver the president, when the president is getting out, that party is never important. It's lost. He should have known that. So this guy is also right.
So he's coming up with the UDA now.
Yeah. Now he's coming up with UDA. It's okay. He can try, but I doubt that it can go anywhere.
That reason, Ruto assumed that he could buy Central Province, neglected all other regions, and failed to understand what another political analyst said: you can rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy one. This is what you were saying about Mount Kenya.
Yeah, the Mount Kenya is an unreliable constituency. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying when people have the numbers the Mount Kenya people have, they go behind the tent and talk. Say now, but this thing we can take.
If you just give our own
This is a beautiful girl. Why are we giving her to somebody? We can take ourselves.
The last
The
reason,
temptation is very high. Yeah.
the last reason from Jan Kanavu, he said Ruto has been given several platforms to explain the source of his massive quick wealth, was never able to articulate himself on this matter. He has also been keen to defend himself against allegations of major corruptions or questionable business deals. How important is it to come clean with your wealth? How important is it?
Let me tell you, I have never considered that an issue in Kenyan politics. We elect thieves, murderers, rapists. So I don't want anybody to say Ruto will not go anywhere because he's a thief, even if you are a thief. It never counts in Kenyan politics. People love their thieves. It's a bad and sad situation, but that's the reality. So I don't think you could rule out Ruto merely because the allegations about him being a corrupt or no, that is not an issue. But there's something else. I think somebody, that guy also said about how he entered into a marriage of convenience with Ruto, with Uhuru. In 2012, Raila was courting Ruto. Yes. Uhuru came in last minute. If, in my own thinking, if Ruto had gone with Raila, his chances of being president would have been guaranteed.
If he would have been the Kalonzo
Yes. Yeah, if he went with Raila in 2013.
And deputized him for elections.
He will be president in 2022.
Do you think Raila
He could even have forced Raila into a one term. Ruto could have forced Raila into a one term, 2013, 2017. Right now, Ruto will be starting his second term next year. He stood a higher chance, and we said it. We debated it, including in live studio. I believe, from my own assessment, he would stood a better chance of becoming president if we went with Raila in 2013.
But he went with Uhuru.
Yeah.
At least he made Uhuru president, but not himself.
Yeah, no.
Okay, finally, Jimmy Wanjigi was the name you brought up. He said, the previous videos you've been saying that expect a runoff between Raila and Akikuyu. Now you've brought the name Jimmy Wanjigi. Richard Gaya said, Jimmy Wanjigi, we are indeed jokers with our future. Why do you think Jimmy Wanjigi will be the guy?
You know, first of all, we agree Mount Kenya has the votes. Number one. Number two, these numbers go to their head and they have a sense of entitlement. Much as they felt in 2013 that Akikuyu need not have succeeded Kibaki, they went ahead and succeeded themselves. Even now there's talk in town, Akikuyu should not succeed. The Kikuyus should not succeed themselves. But that's just talk. So I am convinced they are going to attempt to succeed themselves. And if you look at around the people, the political players, they are people on picnic. They are not really serious people. All the names in the political establishment. So I was saying, you will need to go inside the community to get somebody who is not the current politicians we know. Not PK, not Kafogo, not Mwangi area, not Peter Munya, not Muturi. But Muturi is a little more serious. Not any of those fellows. It has to be somebody inside. And the name of Jimmy Wanjigi has come out. I'm not saying he will make it. I'm saying he's the only serious name other than the established politicians from Central or from Mountain. He's the only one so far who has come up. And you hear this talk. You know, me, I have a nose for politics and my ear on the ground. I hear things that many people don't seem to know. I know Jimmy Wanjigi is a serious candidate.
And he knows Raila.
Yeah, I know. And he's Raila's buddy. And it could be a very interesting role.
Yeah.
In fact, I have heard people whisper he hopes Raila can live for him. Of course, nobody ever lives for the other. No.
Something might
Power concedes nothing. Doesn't concede anything.
Okay, when we come back, the talk. Let's take a look at what it takes to become the president of this country. With me, Jadiel Kabiro and Professor Herman Manyora. With so many names being thrown into the political game for 2022 for the presidential election, some whose names have actually declared that they're going to run for it, already gotten themselves into scandals, like the one for Mukisa Kitui. Some who are being urged to get into coalitions, like Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga. Even the NSC leader, Mudavadi, they have already declared that they cannot run with the guys they ran with last elections. Professor, what does it take for someone to become a president into this country? What does it really take?
First of all, you have a big name. We go by names in this country, most likely coming from a populous community. Command a lot of respect, have resources, have networks, connections, that's it. Be able to enter into coalitions with others, as we have seen from 2002 and even earlier. So it's a combination of things to become president.
Do you think scandals affect the person once they get into, like the one for Mukisa Kitui? Can he even get his name back?
I don't think those things matter to Kenyans. I've told you, even thieves and murderers and rapists, we don't seem to care. A scandal with those issues with women, those are American things.
You said that
No.
once the 2022 elections are gone, some names will disappear
Correct.
from our country's
Yes.
leadership, like the ones that we'll lose. What do you think people should not assume, like Kalonzo or Mudavadi? What do you think they should not assume come 2022 and the coalitions that they will make?
After 2022, there will be only two types of politicians who will be relevant. Those who will be currently in the game, which means you will have won the election in 2022 or you are part of the winning coalition. And the second one will be the young, new generational leaders. There is no room for current players, irrespective of their age. If you are in the current political dispensation, people hear of you, Kalonzo, Mudavadi, whether you are young, Ruto, anybody, if you do not play in the winning coalition, the winning team, you'll go home.
Kalonzo has,
Because young people are taking over. It's a generational change. 2022, there is a new generation succeeding Kenyans, succeeding the old generation.
I was saying Kalonzo and Mudavadi haven't held elective seats for quite some time.
Yes.
When they lose, if they lose 2022, how will that look for Kalonzo?
They'll go home. For them, the exam is already leaked. How can they fail the exam? They are doing and sitting for an exam which is leaked. Kalonzo and Mudavadi can only play with Raila together and Uhuru.
What do you mean by leaked?
The exam, the answer is there. Play around together with Raila and Uhuru. If you are a Gideon Moy, if you are Mudavadi, if you are Kalonzo, play in that team. Get a position. Vaa number fulani. Even if you want a number 9, you are not given number 9. Even if you are given number 7, take it, go on the wing and play.
Do you think Raila can be affected by a loss 2022? Raila Odinga?
Raila has suffered huge losses and defeats. He has faced so many challenges. I don't think there's one more will really devastate him. No.
Can he vie again though?
After 2022?
After 2022,
We are all human beings. It's most unlikely then.
It's most unlikely
No, it's most
for Raila. Let's take a look at Jimmy Wanjigi. We've talked about him for quite some time. He's going to vie. There's so many people that will bring their names out there. What should they do now?
You know, like I'm saying, first, make a realistic assessment of yourself. Point number one. And the beginning point is, do you have what it takes to be president? Simple. Do you have even the resources? Going into a presidential election in this country requires huge resources. Do you have resources? Are you able to put billions on the table? If you don't, are you able to raise? Please, just give up. Don't disturb yourself for nothing. Even your wife or your husband could tell you, please, just give up. Do you have the huge resources?
You know, you said that when you go to your place in Vihiga, is it
Yes,
Vihiga? If you go there and you don't have money, you can't
People
get anything.
can't even listen to me. After you have talked, they say, yeah, we have heard. Then they queue on a bigger line. You give them nothing. Next time, they will chase you away. So, you need resources, number one. Number two, Kenyan politics is hugely ethnic, kind of tribal. Are you able, do you come from a community that has numbers? And can that community play with other communities, say 1 or 2 others, to give you a realistic start? If the answer is no, don't give up. So people like Jimmy Wanjigi, if he convinces the Mount Kenya people, you see, he starts with a huge chunk of votes in millions. Now, it is now his strategy and his resources to bring in more from across the country. But he begins with like 5-6 million. That's good enough. Raila begins with 5-6 million. Now, there's nobody else in this team apart from Ruto. Ruto comes with the millions. He starts with these millions. Raila starts with these millions. Jimmy would start with, if he convinces a mountain. If he doesn't, he starts with nothing. But the rest have no chance.
I remember when there were talks of Ruto can't get the Mount Kenya region. There's some time people said that they will betray him. And then there was this word brought out called the deep state. You've told me you have ears everywhere.
Yes.
Does the deep state affect the elections, and does it even exist?
If deep state exists in every country, it takes different forms. In some countries, it's even the top military people who want to ensure the country runs the way it has been running. The traditions are obeyed. In some countries, it's the business community. They don't want anybody who comes to disturb the status quo. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In some countries, it is politicians both in and out. So but it is almost in every country. And it counts a lot. If you want to know deep state counts, ask yourself, why hasn't Raila been president? Why didn't he take it in 2007? 2007. He won in 2007.
Against Kibaki.
Yeah. Anybody can argue if they want. Without deep state, he would have won.
But
But
something happened. How can someone
if
grant...
you saw the Supreme Court 2017, if you are following the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
what was Maraga and they are saying there were some shadowy figures manipulating the figures, manipulating the processes.
I can't argue with you on that one, but I will think to myself, let me go to Vi blindly.
Yeah.
How can I get to the deep state to support me?
You see, deep state is a loose collection of individuals who think and believe they hold the interest of the state. Okay?
Yeah.
Or their interests are so deep-rooted, they cannot take a chance with another person. So they ensure it is just a person approved by them that runs the state. That's what the deep state is. They just make sure things go according to the way they want. And if they see you threatening the deep state, they cannot give you a chance. That's why some people are processed. They may appear very radical like Raila, but beginning from 2006, 7, Raila began being processed somehow by some aspects of the bigger players. And by now he has been processed so thoroughly, he's just one of them. They are not worried about Raila anymore. They are in fact happy if he takes over.
Is this why most people would say that Ruto might have the numbers and not get...
It is difficult. It is difficult because even in America, please, we have seen even in America, please, even Bernie Sanders, she beat Hillary Clinton. He beat Hillary Clinton in 2006, it's whatever that at that time, something when she was running against Obama. But they gave her. In last nominations, the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders was going to win.
But Biden.
He was going to beat Joe Biden. But the deep state of the Democratic Party could not allow it to happen for a number of reasons, including his socialist leaning. And therefore, they manipulated the nominations to favor Joe Biden. He was not going to win.
But the regular Mwananchi can't know nothing.
No, the game is played so high when you are down here, you can't see it. You get it? So I tell people, the game is being played by people who have influence.
So you're saying resources, influence,
Yes.
and obviously because of the nature of the
Yes.
demographic.
And the demographic tribe. There are so many things at play. But let me tell you now, if you think Raila and his team may not have the numbers, you are wrong because, like I've told you, all these players will find themselves being forced on the same table.
Okay, when we come back, would you rather, my goodness, a lot of knowledge somehow, deep state. Let's talk about, let's see what Professor would rather gamble with. Professor, you're going to vie for an election seat. You need a political strategist. Oscar Sudi or Maina Commander, choose one.
Oscar Sudi, the commander, of course. He has been in the game for so long. Many people don't know, you may not know young people. He was the original Kanu of Nairobi. Yeah.
Maina Commander.
They have played from councillor, has been a councillor for many years.
He knows the game.
He knows the game.
Okay, you need to rent a house and one landlord. There are two landlords, Onesmus Ngunjiri, MP Bahati, or MP Aisha Jumwa. Who would you rather stay in their property?
Ngunjiri is a Kikuyu, he knows about property. I'll go with him and he's my friend. Yeah.
Okay, two politicians want a loan. You're supposed to guarantee them. Esther Passaris or Aden Duale, who do you think will not let you down?
Duale has the money, and Somalis don't go against their word. So I think I'll support Duale.
Esther Passaris?
She's a good lady, I know her, she's my friend. But as far as money is concerned, I think Duale knows a lot more.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through, Professor Herman Manyora. Amazing conversation, insightful. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Until we have this conversation again, have yourselves a lovely rest of your week.
Thank you.